Hello, friends! You're watching Affection Unbound, real life, real twists. Let's begin the journey. I reserved a booth at Harborview Grill in Seattle, the spot where Jake and I shared our first awkward date years ago. Rain-slicked windows, the hum of fairies in the distance. It always felt like our place. We'd laughed about the overpriced crab cakes and promised to come back every anniversary. This time, I hoped it would spark something real again. Our marriage had turned into polite routines, late nights at his office, and excuses that piled up like unread mail. He messaged that morning, "See you at 7? Can't wait." I trusted it, or at least wanted to. I got there 10 minutes early. A small box in my purse, vintage tickets to a Seahawks game, his favorite team. My idea was straightforward. Appetizers, a couple of IPAs, slide the box over, and suggest we rebuild what we'd lost. 8 years shouldn't fade into calendar notes and half-hearted good nights. The server seated me in the corner booth, and I ordered his usual stout while I waited. 5 minutes passed, then 15, 30. The place filled up with couples and laughter, but my table stayed empty. At the 40-minute mark, I checked my phone. No texts, no calls. His Find My device was still shared from our old road trips. It didn't point to Harborview. It blinked at a boutique hotel downtown, the Elliott Bay Inn, chic, discreet, the kind where business travelers hide more than meetings. My stomach didn't twist. It sank like lead. I knew the name from whispers at his company's holiday party last winter. Sarah, his project lead, always mentioned it with a wink like an inside joke. She'd called him my star collaborator too many times for comfort. The server approached again, menu in hand, concern creasing his brow. I waved him off. "Just the check, please. Keep the stout." I left the box with the tickets on the table, unopened, like a relic from a life that no longer fit. No outburst, no frantic calls, just a quiet departure before explanations could muddy the truth. He'd picked her hotel over our night, so I began my withdrawal, stepping out into the drizzle without a backward glance. Back at our condo overlooking Puget Sound, the quiet pressed in like fog. I didn't collapse or rage. I methodically went room by room, gathering only what was truly mine. Not packing chaos, but a precise uncoupling, erasing my traces so he wouldn't trip over remnants later. When I reached his home office, the space he'd claimed as private territory 6 months back, I hesitated at the door. Part of me screamed to retreat. Then I crossed the threshold. His desk was orderly, files stacked neatly, laptop humming softly. I placed a small USB key right in the middle, a plain label attached. Listen carefully. On it was an audio clip from our vow renewal in Vegas 3 years ago, voices full of promise. Not blackmail, not nostalgia, just evidence of what he'd buried under lies. I tucked my set of keys into a drawer he'd never check and slipped a note for the doorman. "Hold these for Jake if needed." The guy nodded knowingly, like he'd seen this script before. By 11 p.m., I was in a budget motel near SeaTac Airport, fluorescent lights flickering, airplanes rumbling overhead. It wasn't luxury I craved, it was detachment. My phone vibrated at 12:15 a.m. "Where are you?" This better be a joke. I watched the screen fade to black, then set it to silent. No replies, no defenses. My departure was underway, and I wasn't circling back for debates. Come morning, the notifications stacked up. Missed calls, then voice messages. The first was sharp. "Emily, pick up. We have to discuss this." The second edged into annoyance. "You're acting ridiculous. It was just a late meeting." By the third, a sliver of unease crept in. "Call me. I'm worried." I ignored them all, treating the device like a stranger's. That evening, I met up with my old friend Tara at a dive bar on Capitol Hill. She'd known us since college, no sugarcoating in her style. Over cheap whiskey, I laid out the restaurant no-show, the hotel ping, the void. Tara sipped slowly, eyes narrowing. "Can't believe Jake ditched your anniversary for Sarah's hideaway and thinks a text fixes it." Her words were direct. "Flip the script before he does. Untangle finances, contacts, everything. Don't let him paint you as the dramatic one." By dawn, the strategy solidified. I rerouted my direct deposit to a solo account, severed the shared one. That night, another message landed. "It was work, Em. Purely platonic. Stop jumping to conclusions." I hit delete mid-sentence. My new rule, no voice interactions. If he had something to say, it'd be in writing, black and white, no vocal sleight of hand. In the motel, I barricaded the door with a rickety chair and embraced the isolation. This wasn't hysteria. It was calculated distance. 3 days on, it wasn't Jake at my door. It was Sarah. I'd crashed at my brother Liam's place in Tacoma, his spare room a temporary haven while I plodded ahead. Mid-afternoon, the knock came. Liam answered, and her voice floated in, polished, confident, like she was pitching a deal. "Is Emily around?" Jake's concerned. Liam's tone stayed even. "And you are?" "Sarah. We collaborate at the firm. Just need a minute with her?" I lingered in the kitchen, ears tuned. Liam held firm. "She doesn't want visitors." Sarah chuckled lightly, the sound rehearsed. "I get it looks odd, but Emily's been stressed lately. It's clouding her judgment. I'm here to smooth things over." Papers shuffled. "Got a form here. Nothing big, just a non-disclosure for privacy. Keeps it from escalating." Liam's voice sharpened. "You mean a gag order?" Her reply cooled. "Not at all. Better for all if this stays contained. Reputations matter." I edged nearer, but stayed hidden. Her every phrase revealed what Jake had spun. Me as erratic, over-emotional. The tactic was clear. Undermine me preemptively. Liam didn't waver. "Leave now, or I dial 911. Take your papers." A beat of quiet, then her soft laugh, unaccustomed to rejection. Footsteps faded down the drive. I entered the room as her car revved away. Liam turned, arms crossed. "Heard that mess? Every bit." He nodded grimly. "She's rattled. That's why she showed up personally. Stick to your guns. Don't feed their fire." I had no intention of folding. Distance was my opening play, and I was committed. Jake appeared at Liam's house 5 nights later. No grand gestures, just a worn-out Mariner's cap, the one we debought at a game years back when we still shared popcorn and dreams. He held it like it could erase the hotel pin on my phone's map. Can we talk?" he said, voice low. Liam shot me a glance, waiting for my signal. I gave a single nod. He let Jake in, but hovered nearby, a silent guard. Jake set the cap on Liam's coffee table. "It wasn't what you're thinking. The hotel was a client dinner. Sarah was there, sure, but it was all contracts and handshakes." His eyes pleaded, but his hands fidgeted, betraying the polish in his tone. I crossed my arms. "You didn't just miss dinner, Jake. You ghosted our anniversary for her hotel suite. No call, no text." His jaw clenched. "It was a scheduling mix-up. I got caught up, drank too much. That's it." I leaned forward, voice steady. "Caught up until 1 a.m., the hotel's bartender posted a story, your arm around Sarah, her laughing like she owned the room. You didn't look trapped." His face froze, a crack in the facade. "You're spying now?" he muttered. "No," I said. "I'm seeing what you didn't hide." He shifted, voice dropping. "Nothing happened, Em. I swear. I came home to you." I shook my head. "You came home to a condo, not me. There's a difference." The air thickened, his silence louder than his excuses. Then he tried the line that cut deepest. "I never thought you would actually walk away." I let it sit there, raw and real. He'd banked on my loyalty, my habit of smoothing things over. "You thought I'd stay no matter what," I said. "That's where you miscalculated." Jake's eyes flicked to Liam, then back to me. "What do you want from me?" I stood, calm but final. "We're done. A lawyer's drafting the papers. No more drop-ins, no more narratives about me losing it. You chose your path. Own it." He didn't fight back, just grabbed the cap and left, the door clicking shut like a period at the end of a sentence. Liam exhaled. "He's scrambling. Good call, not biting." Within days, Jake's strategy pivoted. Texts from mutual friends started trickling in. "You okay, Em? Jake said you're going through a rough patch. Heard you needed space. Hope you're good." He was rewriting the story, casting me as the fragile one, him the patient husband. I didn't counter their messages or plead my case. Silence carried more truth than a shouting match. Then the real break came, unexpected but sharp. Tara forwarded a screenshot from a coworker's private X post, a blurry photo from that hotel night. Jake and Sarah in a corner booth, his hand on hers, no clients in sight. The caption read, "Late night deal closers." It wasn't meant to blow up, but it spread like oil on water. By noon, my inbox had messages from friends who'd seen it. One just wrote, "I'm sorry, Em, I didn't know." Another sent the image with no comment. I didn't need to explain. The photo did the work. Jake's socials went quiet. No damage control posts, no vague quotes about misunderstandings. His silence screamed guilt. For the first time since Harborview, I felt the weight lift, not because I'd won, but because the truth didn't need my voice to stand. Sarah's orbit around Jake unraveled fast. The hotel photo cost her the polished image she'd curated at the firm. Whispers of favoritism dogged her, and Jake, ever the opportunist, distanced himself to save his own skin. Their gamble, her leverage, his ambition, crumbled under scrutiny. I didn't gloat or chase the gossip. I moved into a tiny loft in Fremont, exposed brick and a view of the canal. My name on the lease, my space to breathe. I started painting again, small canvases of Puget Sound at dusk, colors blending into something new. I joined a running group, felt the pavement under my feet, my pulse steady and mine alone. The legal process was clean, split accounts, no alimony fights. I didn't want his money or his apologies. I wanted out. One night, Jake texted, "Can we try again?" I messed up. I read it under the glow of my new lamp, paint smudged on my fingers. I didn't reply. What I needed wasn't his regret. It was the life I was building without him. The final meeting was at a coffee shop in Pioneer Square, all brick walls and hissing espresso machines. Jake slid the divorce papers across the table, his signature already there. "M," he said, voice soft. "Is this really it?" I signed my name, deliberate and clear. "It's been it for a while." He reached for the mariner's cap, same one, like it could anchor him. I shook my head. "Keep it. I'm not carrying your ghosts." The barista called an order, and a candle flickered on the counter, its flame steady. I didn't snuff it out. I just walked away, leaving the glow behind. That night at Harborview, he'd chosen Sarah's booth over me. Today I chose my own ending, and it felt like freedom.